Good morning, guys. Let's go. There was that bell that we hear every single day to kick it off for us. Man, these stocks today are looking pretty good to the downside again. I noticed SPY started falling off a little bit last night, and it's having some trouble getting back above $420 this morning. It's having a pretty big problem getting back above there. That 420 resistance is coming into play very, very strongly. So let's go, guys. Appreciate you all being here today. But so far, that rejection back down seems like the way to look at the market today. There's definitely some pretty bad price action going on all across the board. We go look at Apple, Microsoft, etc. They all kind of dipped down this morning. Apple had a pretty big dip for them. I mean, that's a big dip for such a large and influential company like them. Now, Microsoft looks a lot better, right? Way better. But Apple, man, they are having some issues right here this morning. So not good for the overall market whenever you see that. Tesla is also continuing its descent. Oh my gosh, falling under 210 this morning. They might get down to $200 before we know it. I mean, this sell-off is becoming major here. Breaking under 208, that is a big move off to the downside. Hey, let's go, guys. Let's go. Appreciate you. Mike, Jamie, Xbox, the other Mike, Warren J, Classified, Corbin. Let's go. We got Mike and Mike C, we'll say. What's up, Corbin? Hey, another Mike. I am Mike. He says he is the Mike, though. And then Rick. Love it. Xbox. Tesla will 300 before year's end. Ooh, I'm not sure about that, Xbox. That would be kind of cool. Maybe they'll get some of that Cybertruck news coming in later in the year, and they'll get back to 300 plus. That would actually be sick, Xbox. I'd love to see that, but I don't know if that could happen here with Tessie or not, but we'll see. 207 now to the downside. I will say those Cybertrucks should be pretty damn big for him. Okay, Xbox, I'll keep it written down in my memory bank. Hey, Oscar, what's up? Let's go. Viva. Let's go, guys. What a morning. What a morning. And I don't know if you guys saw the earnings or not yet. I'm sure you guys have. It's been pretty well known by this point, but Tuesday before open, which is tomorrow, we're going to see Coca-Cola, Verizon, General Electric, RTX, 3M, Spotify, General Motors, all report tomorrow before open. And then in after hours, Microsoft, Google, Snapchat, Visa, Teladoc, Texas Instruments, for all my people out there with those, what are they, TI-83s or whatever the hell? Something like that. Where's all my TI-83 users? But Boeing, Meta on Wednesday. Thursday, you got Amazon and after hours. UPS and pre-market Thursday. That'll be pretty important. UPS with all that strike shit that's been going on with them. All the strike shit. That's what I call it. You know, Ford and General Motors are going through that as well. I'm curious how they're doing today. Ford, General Motors. Nothing too crazy.
How dare you?
Whoa, Greta, why? Why are you mad at me? Maybe because I talked about the strike? I don't... It's gotta be what it was. Has to be. All right, go see Ford. Yeah, nothing nuts with these stocks right now. Ford is actually on a trend line. If we go out to the daily chart, they were recently below this trend line, then they moved above it. And then ever since they moved above it, it's just been slowly selling off and bouncing off of this on the downtrend. This has been kind of like the bottom / mid-range of this downtrend here. I'm really wondering if we're going to continue, and I think we will. I think we'll definitely continue. Got to get back over to Tessie, though. Baby was going off today to the downside. 205.40 now on Tesla, guys. Keep Tesla on the radar. Possible put play It is getting low on the day, but man, the downside momentum on Tesla is nuts here. Hey, what's up, Jane? What's up? Potentially. I mean, it's at 205 now. I would have preferred an entry up here. It still looks pretty solid, but keep in mind it would be a quick scalp on this one. Let's eye up some support. Big support coming up at 200. I mean, yeah, I mean, it seems pretty good for a move down to 200 for a test. What I meant to say. God, I just couldn't spit it out.
Today, Junior?
Oh, shit. Oh, man, I'm getting lit up now. What the hell? What the hell? Grabs Meow Mix. Jane, I saw you post another cat this morning. I was laughing. Or I don't know when you posted it, but I saw it. I hope you have fun on your trip, by the way, Jane. Hope you have a good trip. That sounds really fun. Sounds like a good one. I'll be honest, I'm kind of scared to travel right now, but you'll be fine. Man, Manny said cheers. It's 8:30. It's 5 p.m. somewhere, they say. Oh, you don't even have any cats. Nvidia 410 and dropping, Mike said. Uh-oh. Yeah, it was starting to. I see what you're saying. Had a little bit of like a big wick under 410 and then came right back. That happens a lot, but yeah, bounced right back up off of 410. That'll be a big spot to watch for a breakdown today. Maybe even just use 409.50. Yeah, I like 409.50 right here today. Very nice levels for Nvidia, though. That's a great level. We'll actually we're gonna put an alert there, because I think that could be a great possible breakdown play today. Good stuff. It's too bad you don't own any cats, though, Jane. Ubot going down. UBOT. We gotta check out how the Bitcoin did. Ubot. Let's see. Oh, wow. Robotics, AI, and Automation Index Bull 2X leverage. Wow. Wow. Let's go see our Bitcoin. BTC USD. What are we looking like? Okay, holding up above 30,000. Not bad. I mean, honestly, that's not a bad move. I know it's coming down now a little bit, but what a good move last night to push us up above 30. If it could just hold above 30,000, Bitcoin would look pretty hot here. And you know what else would look hot? Is Mara and Riot. It's about time those stocks get some better moves. Go back the past few weeks, they've just been choppy as hell. Bitcoin's been doing pretty good, but they've just been choppy. So I hope to see a nice pop out of them. Same thing with Coinbase. Coinbase would be nice. Are they on a trend line? What's Coinbase doing? Oh, wow. Coinbase is on a trend. Wow. Maybe they'll end up breaking it this time. Yeah, I mean, this does not look like a bullish trend to me. This looks like some type of bearish move. Oh. AMD at 100 is going to be very important today as well. AMD sitting right at $100 even, guys, or just now breaking under it. Keep your eyes on this. Very important. This could be a fantastic opportunity. Every opportunity lately seems like it's to the downside, so sorry to the bulls out there right now, but it's just how it be sometimes, you know? It's just how it be. Palantir's awful. Let's see. Is it? Yeah, it really is awful, isn't it? Hopefully DraftKings isn't that bad, but I'm sure it is. All right. Wow, DraftKings holding its ground ever so slightly. Not bad. I mean, I'll take it. It's good. It's better than going down, right? What about Disney? I bet they're down. Oh, shit. Disney, what are you doing? Oh, no, Disney. Mickey Mouse is going to be pissed today. All right, so there's a support down here on Disney. Right around 80 even. I mean, it's really close to 80 even. Like, we'll say 79, 80 if you want to be, like, exact. But right around $80, okay, is a huge support coming up for Disney. If this support holds up, that'll actually be a perfect inverse head and shoulders type of pattern here. That would be perfect if it held up here for a possible retest of 90 plus, which could be very nice for a stock like Disney. So keep your eyes on Disney over the next few days as it gets close to this area. I'm actually going to put an alert at 80. Why not? You know what? We're going to put it at $80 and $80.30. That way, in case it doesn't touch 80, it touches just above it. We'll be on it. Maybe pick up some more shares that day or something, you know? Get that average price even better. I'm bullish as hell on Disney in the long term, but in the short term, oof, they are scary. Scary short term. But long term, I have no problem with them, so. That 80, 85 has been consistent. Yeah, Jane, it's been pretty good. Been pretty fire. We can go back like on a daily chart for years and go look at that level. That was the low during COVID, was right there. It was also the low in 2014. Well, the second half of that year, I guess I should say. It was like the big support of that year, anyways. And then the COVID low, of course, like I said, next. 2020. Pretty big spot. Great spot, though. We'll definitely be looking for shares there, but so far today, just more selling pressure just continues to fall off the face of the earth. Got to go back to Tessie. Continuing down as well, 203.47. Beautiful moves, Tesla. I'm really hoping Tesla can get to 200 here. Oh, yeah, Jane, I'm with you. Got to see that 200 come in. What's up, Mason? Good morning. Good morning, PQ. Appreciate you. Let's go. Hey, if you guys are just joining up today, make sure you smash that like button. Let's go. Let's get those numbers up. In the words of Matthew McConaughey, these are some rookie numbers out there. Let's at least try to get 25 to 30 likes. 30 likes would be beautiful today if we could somehow pull that one off. But 203 on Tesla. Maybe YouTube will actually like us this week if we get that going. Oh, Mason just had some scrambled eggs. Man, you are getting me jealous right now, Mason. I've got a hot tea over here calling my name. Man, Tesla 202.50 now. Just continues to go. NVDA. Consolidation, slight move back. Man, that drop with Tesla, though, is something else. That's terrible. Terrible, terrible, Tesla. That sucks to see. All right, let's bring up the watch list. Oh, wow. There are no stocks in the green on my watch list. Oh, boy. At least these are fairly decent stocks, like Netflix, Oracle. But we have Pfizer moving. You know what? Is Pfizer going to be the play here today? Like, what the... I actually kind of like this as a play back up. Wow, they're right around $30 a share as well. Big supports. Pfizer is an interesting one. Breaking high of day now. Okay. How high is Pfizer going to recover today is the question. It's having a nice move this far. Wow. All right, how's CCJ? Oh boy, big sell-off again out of the uranium stocks. Uh-oh. Not the uranium. Hell yeah, Mason, I like it. Hit the likes. Let's go. Today's been pretty fire so far. A lot of opportunities to the downside. Tesla, great opportunity. SQQQ, been doing pretty well. It's been a pretty good day so far. Love to see that. And then, of course, we have these big earnings this week. So just coming up tomorrow in after hours, we're going to have quite a bit. Microsoft, Alphabet, Visa, Snapchat. But Microsoft and Google will be very, very important, especially for these bigger, like, AI type of companies, right? Boy, I know my Microsoft chart looks like a Christmas tree right now, but it's because I have so many intraday lines and levels on the chart. But looking at the stock right now, it's definitely turning over from this recent high, you could say. And this is the type of pattern that I like to coin as you guys have heard this, anyone who's been in the streams for a few months now, is I coined this as sliding off. Sliding off is what I call this. Sliding off. It's what happens when these stocks start to turn over and then they keep having lower highs going on, like right here. It just is continuing like a nice slide to the downside, right? It's not like the stock is exploding, but it's just like a nice slide off. That's why I call it sliding off. And when you go to an intraday chart, it looks even better for sliding off, okay? Like right here. Like we keep getting these slight green candles coming in, but it's just sliding slowly but surely, sliding off like a nice rock slide or something, you know? And that's kind of why I call it that. But it's a nice move down. Going into earnings, looking pretty tough here, but it's going to be very important that they report good numbers coming from like the ChatGPT, all their AI revenues, etc. is going to be very, very important. And then with Google, I mean, we're talking ad revenue needs to be up. There's going to be a ton of things affecting Google, from AI to ad revenue to God knows what. I mean, the cloud, like there's just so much shit with them. Gonna be huge. What do you guys think with these two stocks, or Boeing or Meta or Amazon? Throw out your favorite earnings play for the week in the chat. Let me know, and then we'll make a poll with some of the favorites. I know a lot of people are going to be watching Meta and Amazon as well, so I'm curious what everyone's looking at this week. Throw them out there. Throw them out. Like I said, I'll make a little poll with the most popular ones. See what people are looking for. Snap, wow. I like that one, Jane. Sean said Amazon's at 124. I like it. Let's see. Bouncing, actually. But yeah, it did hit 124. Okay. I would love to see him get down to test 123 today. That would be near perfect. Yeah, I'm with you, Jane. You know, Snapchat's one of those stocks that could have pretty big moves sometimes. So I'm with you there. I'm drinking that famous Earl Grey tea today. No energy drinks today, but got our tea. Got our tea and crumpets. Hey, so who out there caught the Formula One race this weekend? It was a pretty damn good one. It was pretty good. Lewis Hamilton almost caught up to Verstappen at the very end of the race. It was a pretty good one. I normally cheered for Verstappen, but I was actually cheering for Hamilton to come back and catch him there. I thought it would have been a very fun end to that race, but he was about 1 second away there. Tesla running away from my 200. Come back. What do you got on there? Your 200 SMA or something? Or $200? I see. $200. Man, Tesla held it. Come on, Tesla, get back down there. I'm with you, Jane. I'd rather see it down. Man, Nvidia roared back to life and is now going green. What about AMD? Hell yeah, AMD broke under 100, ran down to 99.30, and now they're all the way back up to $100.50. Like, it broke the low and then just said, nope, I'm coming right back. Came popping right back up. QQQ coming back. Okay. What about TLT, though? TLT is a big one here, in my opinion. It's starting to come back to the upside today pretty well. I mean, it made new lows of the year this morning, but at least today it's coming back up. It's as far as since the market opened, but I don't know if you guys saw this headline from last week, but you definitely should have. Look at this. The US 10Y was over 5% last week. That is a huge thing to say. US 10Y popped over 5%. That is very, very important. These yields just continue to explode. Tons of it. How is gold today? Okay, starting to fall over slightly. Man, I thought gold might be doing a little bit better today, but it's all right. Yeah, Jane, I actually am. She said, am I buying anything long during the sell-off for my long term? 100%, Jane. You know, I'm always buying stuff in IRAs. I'm always buying stuff in all types of different capacities, you know, like obviously my brokerage and then IRAs and etc. So I'm always getting in long term, like just about any time, Jane. Like even when the market's high, I'm still getting in long term at the end of the day, but just maybe not like a ton, right? It might be more of like in the IRA, just letting it go rather than like trading it like I would in my brokerage, for example. So that's kind of what I do. But yeah, right now I'm getting some Disney. Disney's a big one for me. I know that we just talked about this one, but you know, honestly, it's one of my biggest ones that I've been buying lately. So I'm just being honest there. That's how it is. Got a couple more on here as well. DraftKings, of course, still adding to that position. Zoom, I've been picking up some Zoom down here. ZM, I like this one a lot off the bottom support. Now, this is worrying me in the short term. It's starting to fall out of a huge wedge or like a huge triangle, I guess you'd say. But it's, I don't know, it's getting real close to support. It, like I said, long-term type of play here on Zoom. I think Zoom will still do good over the longer term. But those are the main two that I'm getting right now. Now, if you're looking long term, I'm still buying like SPY, QQQ, VOO, stuff like that, XLE, energy ETF. There's a few ETFs out there that I keep adding to those IRAs and longer term portfolios. And I think that's really important, you know, just continuing to get those and kind of just not worry about how the overall market is in those IRAs. But I really do like Disney and Zoom and Square. Square's another one I like down here quite a bit. I haven't been adding any Square yet, but it's one that I like. Potentially, like I will be adding it. Do you do shares or leaps? Mainly just shares, Jane. Leaps are not my favorite. They'll generally, from what I've seen, they'll generally get you stuck, I guess is a good way to say it. Now, if you time your leaps up good, it's fine, obviously. But whenever you're buying and holding something for like 2 or 3 years, as in like an option, or like at least a year on a leap, right? You would, it's one of those things where as you're holding it, if that option starts going against you, it gets really, really stuck. Like, for example, in the premium Discord, I'm into some Corsair leaps, right? We bought them at a decent price, like right around 20 bucks on Corsair, I think, or somewhere around here. And the stock just continues to get pummeled, right? So that option is like going to zero right now, essentially. So, you know, good thing it's just a leap and I didn't go all in because it's just a leap and it's not shares. So there you go. But if it's shares, I'd be fine. And I could just keep averaging in and be perfectly fine. But since it's a leap, it's not. I actually really prefer shares over leaps all day. I love options for like timing plays up and like getting on like nice swings, you know, like if you see a nice bounce off support, sure, maybe then's the time to get a nice leap, you know, But if you're seeing like a stock in a solid downtrend over the long term and it's not really getting too much movement back up, I'm not a big fan of like leaps on those. Now, if you're talking about like Apple leaps, if Apple's taking a big dip and you're looking at leaps on something like Apple, I think that's great. You know, that's fantastic then. But that's a different strategy than leaps on something like Corsair or Zoom or Square or something like that is going to be a lot more volatile. Kevin said, what's an IRA? Essentially, it's a way that you can take advantage of taxes. There's a lot of videos explaining it, but essentially, Kevin, you put money into these IRAs and then you can only withdraw what you put in, and you can't really withdraw any profits until you're 65 or older. I believe it's that, or 59 or something. But you, I don't know the exact age on it anymore. I used to, but you essentially, it's an account that you buy stocks in, and essentially you don't want to take anything out until you're like 59 or 60. And then whenever you get to that age that you're allowed to take it out, you can take it out without as bad of tax burdens, we'll say. If any tax burdens. I think it's like tax-free most of the way, which is pretty big. You know, that's huge to be tax-free, because that account could be worth, if you are young and you start adding in like $100 a month or even just a couple hundred a month into this account, by the time you're 60, that account's going to be well into the millions, okay? Well into there, especially if you start maxing out your contributions as time goes. You know, granted, as long as you were into good ETFs and not risking it on bullshit, you know, then you'd be okay. But that's essentially what it is, Kevin. It's a really big tax advantage. Go ahead and check out a few videos about it. There are tons of videos out there about it. And you could even call somebody like let's say like Edward Jones or like Merrill Lynch or somebody like that, and you can say, hey, I'd like to talk to somebody about an IRA. And then you can ask them all types of questions on the phone, and it's pretty good though, Kevin, seriously. Mike said, wow, NVIDIA, what happened? Oh yeah, just still recovering. It's been on this recovery here for a little while today. It bounced off that 409.50, 410 area, and boy, that thing has been a good dip buy. If Christian was here, he'd be dip buying the hell out of this one. He's probably busy this morning, but holy crap. Bill Ackman said we covered our bond short. There's too much risk in the world to remain short bonds at current long-term rates. The economy is slowing faster than recent data suggests. Uh-oh. Bill Ackman. Guys, that's pretty freaky if he said they covered their bond short. That means they took profits essentially on something like TLT. Yeah. I also agree. Jane said we buy puts. No, not necessarily based off of what Ackman said, Jane. Ackman is actually kind of saying right here that he's expecting yields to maybe come down a little bit. Because keep in mind, the higher yields go, the lower the bonds get, essentially, is what's going on. So TLT essentially inverses those yields. And TLT follows the 20-year, treasury bond. YOLO puts. I can't believe that there really is a stock called YOLO. You're kidding me. It's a pure cannabis ETF? Hold up. Hold up. I did not realize this. Apparently, I've clicked on it before, but I didn't realize it had this in it. What's in here? MSOS makes up 56%. What's the point of having an ETF if you just have another ETF comprise the whole thing. That's funny. I actually kind of like this. I'm not going to lie, guys. Honestly, I mean, YOLO seems like a pretty good stock for marijuana. Sorry, for marijuana. It looks like a pretty good ETF for marijuana, we could say. It's not bad. Interesting one. It does mainly hold MSOS, though, which is another ETF. You could probably just buy this one, but I don't know. Those other companies in YOLO seemed okay. But it's a weird stock. I don't know if I could live with myself owning that one, to be honest with you. With how it says YOLO. All right, go back to Tesla here. Got to hit Tessie. Go to that 5-minute chart. All right, starting to turn back over. Back to the downside here, guys. What do you think? We only had one person throw out their favorite earnings for the week, which was Jane. Appreciate you talking about Snap. Number 2's Microsoft. Okay. Looking for Meta, Amazon. I think those two will be very interesting. Let's go with Microsoft and Google tomorrow, okay? We're going to make a poll here. You guys can just vote for whatever you want on this one. It's just mainly about these two. Vote for whichever stock you're watching, and then also vote for whichever stock you're looking to trade also here. Throwing up the poll. We have Google Pop, Google Drop, Microsoft Pop, Microsoft Drop. Whichever stock you like better, vote for it and vote on the direction. Let's see it. BA will go down, my earnings prediction, Carlos said. I sure hope they do. That'll be an interesting one to watch. Boeing has been one of the worst stocks over the past few months. I mean, it's been terrible. Straight up terrible. Microsoft Drop, Google Pop. I know, I wish I could have you guys vote twice in it, but it won't let me. All right, let's go look at the SM bot today. What do we got going on? What are we calling out? Let's see some crazy movers here. Meta calls. Wow, okay. META calls. That's an interesting one. General Electric calls as well. I know they have earnings coming up, but looks like they're running up into them. Delta Airlines puts DAL. I don't know if I like that one or not. I'll wait for the next list to pop. I almost can't believe the bot's calling out Delta puts right now. Huh. That's interesting. It catches my eye almost because it's like, I wouldn't have expected it given the green candles. Would not have expected it. Wow, yeah, still calling out puts, but hey, it's actually turning over pretty well. I like that. Maybe it sees something going on here. All right, Boeing. Don't do it to us today. We got to get on our watch list. What's leading the way now? There we go. A lot greener on the watch list now, finally. MGM and DraftKings are leading the way. Wow, MGM, guys. Whoa. MGM looking pretty fire. I like that move with MGM. That green candle today looks pretty fire. Look at that 5-minute chart of them. Yeah, breaking out pretty well. I actually like this. Nice recovery today, MGM. It's a nice possible buy. Jane says she loves casino stocks. Nice. I love them too. I love them. The only reason I don't love them right now is that we're seeing credit card delinquencies on the rise, and we're seeing continued pressure on consumers right now. And whenever you see pressure on consumers, what goes down? The casino stocks. They go down pretty hard, actually, when there's a lot of pressure on consumers. So I'm hoping that they can get back up here sometime soon, but I'll be honest, Jane, I love them, but at the same time, like, for the longer term, I'm just waiting a little bit more. Just a little bit longer till this pressure gets away and off of the consumers. But I love trading them, though. The trades are fantastic. Trading them are great. Just little swings here and there, or quick day trades. Hell yeah, like MGM. Look at that. 36.13. Beautiful. Beautiful MGM. Sniper bot. Sniper bot. I feel you there, Xbox. Zom, I'm thinking it could go up, Carlo. Carlo, let's see. Zom. It's definitely going to depend on crude oil here. And look at crude oil since open. What the? Oh, this is delayed. Why are my crude oil futures not working right on there? That's weird. All right, well, we'll have to just look at it on Thinkorswim then. All right, there we go. Yeah, crude's kind of shaky today. Be a little careful of crude oil. A little bit shaky. Not a ton of movement. A lot of the individual companies like Zom are just flat to slightly down. Oxy. How long do you think before they go up, Carlo? Oh, they mean on the earnings. I see. End of week, I know they all report. Chevron, Exxon. I thought more reported that day, but okay. Yeah, I think that they could go up with earnings. You know, oil's been pretty high. I would think that they could go up with earnings for sure. It's one, though, that I'm more mixed on. I'm more mixed on it than anything. I wouldn't be swinging it through earnings. I don't have, like, the same conviction on it as I have with Tesla, but I would think, given the increase in oil prices lately, that they should be doing a little bit better, I would think. Unless they were expecting better prices and maybe demand fell or something. That would suck. I sure hope not. I sure hope that's not the case. But yeah, I got you, Jane. They are fun swingers, those casino stocks. They have big moves. Like, MGM again today. Like, just keeps going. LVS. Not as good. DraftKings was second on our watch list, though, there for a second. That was pretty cool. Not every day they're second. Pinterest, Solar Edge, Win is up quite a bit, too. WYNN, Win Casinos. Wow. Hey, just so you guys know, the Formula One event is coming up in Vegas. I don't know if that's going to help these casino stocks or not, but... it's supposed to be bigger than any of the biggest fights ever hosted there. Yeah, maybe watch these casino stocks close. Let's see when that event is. What's the date? November 19th. That could be huge right there. It's a 50-lap race. But that event is going to be crazy, guys. Like, seriously, these casinos, the hotels are insane. I mean, there could be a lot of hype with it. Nice. Jane will be there for a convention. Nice. I'd hope it's bigger than any fight. They shut down the whole strip. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I love Formula One, so I love racing. I love them. So I think it'll be really fun to see what's going on with Formula One in Vegas here. Gotta pull up to the race in the cat, Tom. Try to race someone. Oh my gosh. Man, hey, I'll sell you guys what? I gotta show you guys this stuff on Facebook, man. There was one of the biggest car events that I've ever seen going on here. Every year they do this thing around me called Cruising Lindbergh, where everybody just goes out on the road and they start cruising. There's actually a picture of me talking to this guy with his kid. Hang on. Here it is. That's me in the Challenger right there, and he got a couple pictures of me and him talking. I thought it was pretty cool to see that. It was kind of cool. And then he got a picture of me driving away. But man, this car event was nuts, guys. Like, just look at some of these cars that were here. And I mean, it was thousands. Like, the police actually had to show up and shut it down. Like, it became so crazy. Especially like when it became night, everybody was just like doing burnouts and donuts. And I mean, like, look at these cars. These things are nuts. I know it's not like the most zoomed in pictures, but I mean, it was thousands upon thousands upon thousands of just old cars everywhere. Like, I think it's the biggest car event in Missouri. For sure. I mean, it's gotta be. You're talking like an area around St. Louis just getting taken over by cars. Just literally taken over. I was there having a lot of fun. It was a really fun time. Really fun. I mean, these cars are nuts. Most of them haven't been that crazy yet, but there was a lot of Lambos and McLarens and Ferraris and all types of crap. Like, there's a GT500 right there. That thing's nice. Like, look at this rat rod. Like, tons of these types of cars, too. Like, just tons. And old Camaros. And it was nuts there. But speaking of that, I just brought it up because it was really fun. Nice racing. But Wynn Casinos, guys, look at this explosion here. What is causing these casino stocks to get this movement coming in? WINN. I gotta see it on the news here. Something's going on. While HSBC initiates coverage on Wynn Resorts with buy rating, announces a price target of 111. That's not bad. HSBC initiates coverage on Wynn. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm kind of tempted to pick up some Wynn for the long term. I'm a big fan of Wynn as well, Mason. I like him. Wow, that's really cool, Xbox, just for RX-7s. Man, there were a couple RX-7s there, but I love RX-7s. They are one of my favorite cars. If I was an old man with, like, you know, millions of dollars, I would 100% just buy an RX-7 just right now. Just bam. Just go buy one. I love them. That's how much I love them. I would get, like, one of those triple rotary engines or whatever they have. Like 3 rotaries stacked into one. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys, just managing some long-term stuff here. Managing some long-term stuff. Cool. You know what the rules are here, that ding. You tell us what you bought. I'm just buying up some win, guys. I really am buying up some win, for real. Getting some starters going on it. I am a pretty big fan of win for the long term. Like I said, I am a little bit worried for consumers in the short term. So, like, I'm not, like, going all into win. And I almost didn't even want to tell you guys I was buying it because I feel like with the pressure on consumers, there's a high risk on this one. So be a little bit careful with it if you do want to follow it. But I am getting some shares of win for the longer term. And, you know, my whole point of this is, like, if win just stays in this range down here. Actually, let's see if I could get a better drawing going than that. What can I get? Rectangle, okay. So, like, if win just, like, stays in this range right here, I mean, I'll be perfectly happy, right? The problem with this range, though, is, and something that I want to emphasize to you guys while I buy win, is that, like, look at this. To the bottom of the range, that's a 57% drop, potentially, okay? So, I say this because if you buy this and it starts to go down, you know, don't start crying to me, okay? I warned you. I'm warning you right now that you have to leave yourself room that if this keeps going down, that you can keep averaging in, right? You're gonna need to keep averaging into this one. It's just how it is. It's a stock that's on a downtrend. And sure, we might get a nice Vegas bounce back up here with the Formula One or something, but I really think that it could go down more. And if it does, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy more shares at 80. I'm going to buy more shares at 70, more shares at 60, more shares at 50, and more shares so on. So just keep that in mind. You know, like, if you're going to buy it, leave yourself room to average in. Because I'm not going to buy this and then panic sell it. I'm not going to panic sell it when it falls down to 60 support, okay? Okay? I'm going to buy it and keep buying it so that my average price will probably end up being like 70 or 65, and then whenever it starts going up to 100 plus again, then we're in great. So it's kind of what I'm looking for there. But like I said, just there's a little bit of warning that we have to give with this one. It's not like buying Apple, right? It's a lot different of a stock. I say this because I love you. Yeah, yes, exactly, Jane. Exactly. How do you use art in TradingView? He says art. What is art? A-R-T. Do you mean just like drawing? Because if you're just talking about drawing, on the left side of your screen, there's these panels here. And I'll click like the drawing brush. They're over here. And it's just this little brush. You can click this arrow. And it has brush, highlighter, arrow. I like the arrows a lot. And you can actually favorite these and then make a little favorite bar like I have up here. Makes it a little easier. But don't you guys just love my art though? Like, isn't this just fantastic right here? Isn't that great? My art is good, isn't it? I'm like Picasso. I'm just kidding. Daily chart though, you know, wind's coming back. Gonna probably pull down a little bit intraday today, running into resistance. Maybe expect like $89 or so before you get a nice hit. SPY starting to trend back up a little bit, back above 420 here. Back above 420. Kind of professional. I only have one painting in a gallery in town. Wow, that's actually pretty good, Jane. Really, you're a professional artist. That is pretty cool. Wow. Nice. Oh, ATR is what you meant, not art. I see. ATR. My bad, P-Cube. You said ART the first time, so I was like, what? I don't even know what average true range is, P-Cube. I probably used to. I don't use any of that type of stuff anymore. Yeah, see, I don't know what that is. But to use it, you would just go to indicators and you would type in like average true range. And there it is. Here it is. I threw it on my chart for you. ATR. Oh, wow. How unique. It just goes up every day and then falls. Okay. All right. I don't know how to use it, and I'm not gonna lie, you know, I'm not gonna spend a ton of time learning it or nothing, but that's how you put it on. That's how you throw it on. 101 support intraday for AMD, starting to come up off of there. Nice little dip back up, not bad. TNX, way down from open, is it? TNX, let's see. 1 day chart coming down hard. You're right. TNX really is coming down hard. Maybe Ackman was right. Wow. 5% might be the top. Yeah, TLT's doing great today, coming back up from the brinks of death. Good stuff, TLT. Glad to see that today, actually. Let's go, TLT. Not bad. Yeah, Jane, I actually like pivot points as well, or pivot lines, or whatever you want to call them. We actually have some on our stock trend algo. Got these likely labels here, is what they are. Or my bad, support and resistance, essentially. But I know what you mean by the pivots. Let's see if I can throw some of those on. Pivot points. That's probably not the pivot you thought, is it? Pivot point standard. Here we go. This is more what I was thinking of. $84 even now TLT. Bippity boppity. Wait, so what news caused TLT to bounce from up? You know, this really bothers me with traders, and I'll just let you guys know this because I think that a lot of people need to hear this, okay? And if you don't need to hear this, it's okay. You know, it's if you don't need to hear it, just tune me out then. But what I'll say right now, bippity boppity, is anytime that anything happens, I mean anything, people immediately go, what news caused this? Something caused this. Why is SPY bouncing? What made it happen? You know, and I get it. I get it. You know, I used to be like that too. There's not always one piece of news that like makes something pop. You know, just imagine like just market movement, right? Like, I honestly believe that a lot of times the market is just moving and then the media just runs with shit. Now, I get it. If there's like a jobs numbers that come out and jobs numbers come out and then like right then the market moves, I get it. That the jobs numbers made the market volatile. You know, it happens sometimes. But every time that there's any move, people are always like, well, what's the news? What's the news? Like, sometimes there just isn't any news. I haven't seen anything today that would suggest a big pop up in treasuries like this. A big pop up in bonds like this, but it's pretty nuts. Nothing really crazy. Just, I think that we're just getting to that point to where the market is just saying, hey, the bonds are getting too overextended to the downside and the yields are way too damn overextended to the upside. So I think that's kind of what's going on here rather than just some news. And I don't mean to target you, Bippity. Trust me, I get that same question 1,000 times a day. If there's any stock moving and it just has a little bit of movement, immediately the first question is what was the news, you know? But we're getting to that point to where you need to just look at it rather than worrying about the news or something. Just look at it on like a macro level. You know, you see how low TLT has gotten here, right? Like TLT is getting destroyed. I mean, it's getting low enough to the point here where you're just on a macro level, like eventually this is going to start getting bought back up and eventually those yields are going to start falling eventually, at least a little bit, right? Like, I'm not saying TLT needs to start going back up forever, but it could be like a nice, like, slow, short move and then move back down even, you know? But it's getting to that point where it has to have some type of recovery. And then we're looking at QQQ. We're looking at the overall market, and it's been selling off right near support from the last couple weeks, 350, 351. So it's kind of popping these stocks back up a little bit. Even Tesla, kind of right around support, popping up slightly. Yeah, I mean, Xbox, I'm not saying that news can't do it. Like, there's 100%. There's news that could cause things. Like, let's say that there were jobs numbers. You know, if that was the case, then yeah, that would make a lot of sense that, you know, yields might explode or something off of that or etc. That's 100% certain, but it's just like every single time there's a little intraday recovery or something, you know, like right here, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there were questions. Someone was like, well, what news made Tesla recover today? You know, it's like, that's just a normal recovery, you know, like that doesn't have to be news induced. Like, yeah, I feel you, Xbox. I knew exactly what you meant. And sure, you know, that's another case. Sure, that could be another one, but I doubt it, you know, like like on a day like today, you know, I would argue against that, but I would just say that there's normal market movement. And we've got to remember the algos and shit out there are really in control. Like at the end of the day, they are in control, not us and not the news, you know? So I feel like that's why these trend lines are like so important lately, especially like the QQQ one. It's like giving us such a good indication to the downside, like amazing to the downside here. In the premium portion of the Discord, I was actually buying SQQQ calls as it was hitting this trend, and we actually got out with a fairly quick gain. I think it was like 15% in one day, but it was a long swing, so a little bit different than like a shorter term play, but normal if there's news, there's usually 1 to 3 big green or red candles. I mean, you could argue that, Carlo, you know, like I said. Depending on the news, you know, it just depends. Like, that's the thing. And I feel like that's another thing where retail traders, like the normal traders out there, go a little bit wrong, is like they worry way too much about news. But I get it, you know, and I'm not going to try to beat down the bush or anything. I'll just let it be. But I'm just trying to help some of you if you guys are having problems with that type of stuff. I know there's a lot of viewers out there who probably aren't talking right now who get burned by the news a lot, you know, and that's the thing. How do you not get burned by the news, right? It's hard. It's hard not to. Boeing starting to pop back up here a little bit. 180.50. Not bad. They have some big news this week. Earnings Wednesday before open. Same thing with Coke on Tuesday. Verizon, Microsoft, Google, Snapchat, Visa. Very nice and after hours on Tuesday. Meta on Wednesday. Nice. SQQQ. What? Let's see. Did you? I don't have any message of you asking about SQQQ. I don't see any questions from you on that Xbox, but... Huh. DXY fell off, though. I see what you're saying there. The dollar makes sense. If the dollar starts falling, the market should start, you know, going up a little bit more. Hopefully. Watch that not be the case, though. Mike says, what do people mean when they say algos are in control? Well, Mike, essentially, these big institutions like banks, hedge funds, etc., there's a lot of these institutions out there who, imagine this, they hire insane coders, okay? I mean, we're talking insane coders who can make programs and have like bots that essentially trade the market and etc. So, Mike, there's a lot that goes into it, but at the end of the day, it's these big institutions getting essentially supercomputers and shit to trade the markets. And what they'll do is they'll buy people's data. Like, you know how people use Robinhood? Like, you know how Robinhood's everyone's favorite platform? Well, Robinhood became popular because they started selling users data, okay? Specifically stock data. And this like allows algos to see that data. Like, for example, anytime anybody buys a stock like on Robinhood, there's been people who say like algos instantly short that stock or instantly go against you or etc. Like, depending on the circumstances. Like, there's tons of data points that would go into that decision. I mean, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or something. But at the end of the day, that's kind of what's going on there. Is those hedge funds and stuff making those programs and computers to trade the markets and kind of control things in ways. And they'll even have algos that scan for news, you know, like you guys were talking about with news. Like, algos will do that, and then as news comes out, they'll kind of kickstart the buying, you know, like they'll be the first ones to really pump it, and then retail traders will come in and just add more fuel to the fire and etc. Like, it's hard to explain. Go check out a book or a movie called Flash Boys, okay? It's called Flash Boys, about Wall Street. It's a very good book. You should check it out. It's actually Mike's favorite book, I think, about the market, or one of them. It's at least one of his favorites, if not his all-time favorite, but Flash Boys, it's pretty good. Pretty good book. Talks a lot about the algos, and you'll learn a lot from that one too. Oh boy, Xbox. People like what Mike does. Yeah, Mike, I feel you got burned by SPCE News, I see. No comment on that one, Xbox. Shane says, ever read A Random Walk Down Wall Street? Nope. Never heard of that one. There's a lot of books out there on Wall Street. How is MGM looking here? 36 a share, okay. What's a win at? 90? I like Win and MGM, to be honest. Sounds stupid, but I'm kind of thinking about selling my Win and picking up MGM. I like Win, but I just don't know if I like him as much as I like MGM. I was curious on picking up the 36 strike, 1027 calls on MGM. I mean, Xbox, that's way too short term, man, but I guess it's okay. I mean, if you're looking to scalp it above high of day, it might not be bad. I'll say this, though, it's getting pretty high intraday. If I were you, I would try to enter on some type of pullback, if you could. If you could. Like, have a bullish sentiment this week and then just try to enter on a pullback. You just got to have the kahunas to enter while the stock is on a pullback, though, but I'm not sure I'd enter it high right here. I like the setup, though. Just with the timing, like, you shouldn't, if you're going to hold that overnight, I would never do it, Xbox, but if you're just scalping it today, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, that's good, Mike. And I mean, keep in mind that, you know, that AMC news that was going on, that's like a 1 in bazillion, you know, like that'll probably never happen again. I say probably very lightly. It very well could on something, but I could see like Bitcoin doing something nuts again or something, but yeah, pure luck. Still though, I'm glad you did good on it. I'll say this though, for the longer term, it'll be much more beneficial just to like buy and hold these companies and just let these big moves play out. Man, it's so nice. Like whenever you sell shares and you made like 150% on shares and you've been buying in for like 3 or 5 years, you're like, holy shit. Granted, you got to pay a big tax, pay a lot of taxes on it if it's not in your IRA, but hey, who cares sometimes when you're up that much, right? It's pretty crazy. It's a lot different. Like, imagine you got like 20 grand into like, let's just randomly say something like Boeing, right? Like, let's say you're investing into Boeing on the dip and you're buying up long-term Boeing. And eventually, let's just say you end up having like a 20 grand position in Boeing, okay? And Boeing is going nuts. And then Boeing starts to explode. You know, it gets back up to those levels it was at, $400 again. Out of nowhere, you're up, you know, 120% on like a $20,000 stock position. You know, that makes a lot of these little earnings moves look like nothing, you know. And I get it. A lot of people will say, well, Tom, you had to hold it for like 3 years and you made only 20 grand or something. And it's like, yeah, but that is still very, very good. Over 3 years, you take like 100%, you do a calculator. See. Well, I already know the answer is 33.3. Let's just do 120% divided by 3 years. That's an average of 40% a year over those 3 years, which would be really, really, really good. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen every time with a stock. You know, it's not. But it's just like for the longer term, you know, if you buy these dips up, get in on some of these, it's looking pretty fire. How's Zoom looking today? All right, coming up off of lows a little bit. What do I think about Nvidia breaking under 420? Let's see. That's Elon's favorite number. Tesla, support resistance. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Shit. I meant to mute the mic on that one. Sorry. $218 overhead on Tesla as well. Chevron just bought Hess. I actually saw that this morning. I saw that. I think I saw it on CNBC or something. Let's do a refresh here. Wow. Netflix aims to crawl, walk, run when it comes to video games. Apple has spent $1 billion this year to catch up to the AI craze. Uh-oh. What, Jane? You gotta go 40 minutes just to get AA batteries? Get them from the gas station, Jane. Whoa, you bought the new Xbox. Please don't tell me that that Xbox takes AA batteries. Please don't tell me that that Xbox takes batteries. That's actually pretty sad if the new Xboxes still take batteries and the controllers. Like, what? They still haven't went towards a rechargeable controller? You're kidding me. They still have not went towards a rechargeable controller on these Xboxes? That is nuts. That to me, that's just really dumb by Xbox. I mean, that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. I loved my Xbox 360, and I'll never forget using so many batteries. And then I got the Xbox One, and I finally got a recharging station or something. Jane, I would invest in this, okay? Xbox charging station. I would definitely invest in one of these, like this thing. Yeah, right here. Definitely, this is needed. Much needed. Actually looks good too, green and red. Looks pretty sick. That thing actually looks nice. I thought it was gonna look terrible, but... Yeah, they did, Carlo. I had them for the 360 as well. I also had those rechargeables. I used to use the rechargeable ones, like, to where, it was just, like, Duracell, like, watch this. Rechargeable. I think it actually took AAA batteries in that controller, if I'm not mistaken. It was AAAs. Here, I had something like this, Carlo. Back in the day. This is what I used to have. Something like this. For my old 360. Man, I used to love the Xbox 360. That was the... I think that might, honestly, be the best console I've ever used. But... I do love my PS4. I'll give it that. The PS4 is nice. Well, granted, I should have a PS5, but I don't play it enough to justify spending the money on it. I only play MLB The Show, and hockey, and golf. Anything else nowadays, I just play on the computer, if I'm gonna play it. All my friends still play, like, PlayStation, like, all night long, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guys. I'm like, do you guys ever do anything? World at War is my favorite COD. Nice. I liked MW2, the old one. Oh. You're right, Jane. And, you know, I saw you could play the old MW2, which is not fair. Wow. Nice. It came with Diablo. Man, Jane, if I were you, I would go buy the 2009 MW2 ASAP and go hop in there, and man, I would be running that SCAR and that ACR on there. Oh, man. Oh, I want to play the old MW2. This is the one, Jane. This is the one to go play. This one. Man, this was the best. To me, this is the best game ever by far by Call of Duty or by Activision or whoever the hell you want to call them. Insane right here. Insane. The chills I'm getting even just thinking about. I remember opening this up for the very first time, and I remember playing it for the very first time. I remember exactly where I was. I remember exactly who I was with, what I was doing. Like, I'll never forget it. Never forget that game. 420 right here on SPY, though. Nice intraday bounce coming back up. Wow, SPY might make a new high of day here in about 20 minutes. Wow. Yeah, and I mean, I loved Black Ops 1 as well, and Black Ops 2, and MW3, but there's just something about that Modern Warfare 2 game that was just perfect. It's like they took the old Modern Warfare, the original one, and then they just made it like into what it was meant to be. Like it. Boeing, nice, coming up. Okay, ahead of earnings. They have earnings on Wednesday. I wonder how KO is looking. They have earnings tomorrow morning. Wow, they're recovering up a ton today. Look at KO on the daily. Ever since they had that one terrible day on October 5th, they've been coming back up pretty dang well, actually. Very nice recovery here. Duck, duck, shoot. Wow. Oh yeah, I heard about that Xbox. They're getting zombies. I heard about that. Yeah, Spec Ops. I used to love those Spec Ops missions with my friends. Oh, you know, Jane, Halo was great as well. Halo 3. Oh my gosh, I used to play that on the 360 as well. Halo 3 and then Halo Reach. Oh my gosh, those two games were great. Halo 3 was really, really good, Jane. Duck, duck, shoot. Yeah, Jane, it seems like they are buying value. Nice, Mason. He played zombies again. Nice. I gotta try that. I wish I had an Xbox to play that old MW2 on. I honestly thought about buying one just to play it, but let's see, 180, 130, right around the high of day on Boeing. It's getting close to breaking out more. Let's go, Boeing. Zom's coming back alive as well. Not bad for you, Zom. How's Win and MGM? Probably coming back a little bit. Nope, not yet. Why is Win's daily chart so shitty? Can somebody explain why Win is so bad on the daily compared to something like MGM? Like MGM has just been like slow and steady and nice, and Win has been like terrible. Is the only way to say it. It's been terrible. Over the long term. It's making me thinking about selling my Win shares and just picking up MGM instead, but I'll probably just get both of them. Man, the memories are coming back for sure. We first met. No way, Jane. You guys had Halo night? That is actually really cool. My girlfriend would never play Halo. Man. I used to play COD, though, with my girlfriend. I used to play Black Ops 2 Zombies with her all the time. And Black Ops 1 Zombies. But Mainly Black Ops 2 zombies, though. When we were like 16 years old, 17. Yeah, we're gonna have to have like a stocked up game night or something going on here. It's too bad people don't play more computer games. You could get a really easy stocked up game night going on there. OG nerds. That's awesome, Jane. You know, speaking of all this, how is Microsoft doing? They got Activision. Don't forget that Activision shares are now Microsoft shares. I'll tell you what, Carlo, like, if they had the original, like the 2009 MW2, if they told me that I had to pay $1,000 to buy that game and play it, I'm not kidding you whenever I say, like, I would literally contemplate spending $1,000 to buy that game. That's how much I like that old MW2. I say that now, and I'll probably buy it and then say it sucks. Right away. I'll get noob tubed or something, or get hit by like an RPG, and I'll be like, this sucks. But yeah, Microsoft's doing pretty good today. Apple was the one that was bad early on, but they recovered and are now kind of pushing the market up. Spy looks just like Apple this morning. Had a big dip, started recovering. Let's see Tesla. Tesla's coming back. I'm not too surprised. Yeah, Halo 3 was sick. You had 3 of them? That's funny. That's quite a bit of Halos you had to buy there. Wow. What a day it's been, though. I really appreciate you guys joining up today. It's been a pretty good live stream. A lot of crazy moves today. You know, at first we had a lot of opportunities down, and then right after that market opened, man, that recovery back to the upside has been insane today. Straight up insane. Wow. Wow, that's crazy, but just crazy moves back up. All right, guys, well, have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Appreciate all the cool convos today. Xbox, Carlo, Jane, Oscar, Mason, Rick. Mike, Bippity Boppity. I like Bippity Boppity. What a name. I am Mike Doe, Fiva, Classified, Corbin, Warren J, Jamie. Appreciate you. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. Saul, SOL, Cornish. Talk to you guys in Discord today. Made a few dollars today. Nothing to brag about, but not red either. Hey, nice, Jane. Always good to have some nice moves. You know, yeah, like you said, at least it's not red. Hell yeah, Xbox. Appreciate you. Let's go, guys. Have a great rest of that day. Don't forget, we go live every morning at market open. If you're new here, hit that subscribe. The subscribes really, really help us. Matthew says you have to.
All right.
See, I told you he said it. All right, guys, have a good one. See you tomorrow.